guys, it's time for another writing vlog. This time we are going to talk about fight scenes and how I write fight scenes. As I am always going to try to remind people, the way that I write is not the only way to write, and if you write fight scenes in a different way and it works for you, absolutely keep doing that. But if you're a little bit clueless or confused and you want to find out how I write fight scenes, here we go. There are two major styles for writing fight scenes. The first is the very descriptive way, where the author will describe everything that happens, every blow of the sword, every shuffle of the feet. And some people prefer to read that kind of fight scene. And that way of writing fight scenes is absolutely valid. But the second kind of fight scene is the kind that I write. It's a lot more fast-paced and it focuses on the major points in the fight scene. I feel like it hits on what's important while keeping the fight fast-paced and engaging. So I don't describe every sword blow or every movement of the feet, I only describe the important ones as the fight goes on. Something to remember with either of those styles is that every fight scene, from the battle of armies to a one-on-one bout, are a tiny story within themselves. We know the basic flow of a story, and the chart that I'm showing you is a huge oversimplification. The rising action, the climax, and the falling action. Now there are a lot of wibbly-wobblies and squigglies that should be along that line, but that's the very basic version that we've all probably seen in our English class. And fight scenes are very similar to that. But instead of introducing characters and worlds, we introduce the fight. What kind of fight is it? Fisticuffs or sword fight? Are armies clashing, or is it just two guys hitting each other with beer bottles in a bar? Obviously we have the rising action where the fight really ramps up, the climax where the fight hits its most dangerous, crucial moment, and then usually a very short falling action at the end where there's the wrap up to the fight, who's injured, who's not, can we carry on with our lives? Who is so insulted by the fight that they're never speaking to someone else again? Which of the armies has won? Now, one of the most important things to do in a fight scene, as well as any story that you are writing, is to challenge the fighter, your character, whether he be your main character or another character that we are supposed to be rooting for. They should be facing a challenge. Have you noticed that in most stories, from TV shows to books, the characters reach what could be almost a climax, and they're feeling pretty good and they're confident and they've got this, and then something, bam, comes and beats them back down so they get to their lowest point again, so that they can rise up from the ashes and have an even greater victory? Well, that needs to happen in your fight scenes too. It can be pretty simple. Because all of your fight scenes should be a challenge for the people fighting it, you can easily get to the point where the bad guy has injured or otherwise incapacitated your hero or your army. Maybe the bad guy has outmaneuvered your army, so some of it is trapped in a small pocket over here. We have to figure out, do we get in there to try to save them? Oh no, they're going to die in there. Tragic. Or if it's a fight scene between two people, oh no, the bad guy has used underhanded tactics or higher skills than our character had, and he's kicked out his knee, he's slashed him in the side, he's used some sort of debilitating magic on our hero that causes our hero to falter, to get to his lowest place in the fight. This will allow him to rally in some way and rise up to win the fight in a much more entertaining and engaging way. You definitely want your audience to be nail-biting about whatever fight you write, even if it's a pretty small fight. It doesn't need to be intense nail-biting, but it should never just be, oh, my main character comes in here, he's so good at fighting that he wins everything, and the fight is over. No, even if the main character has greater skill than the bad guy he is fighting, the bad guy should still have a few tricks up his sleeve to make it tough for your hero to win. And heck, maybe it's even your hero's own overconfidence when he goes into the fight because he thinks he's going to beat this guy easily. Like, let's say it's a battle of armies and our heroes have the enemy army outnumbered. Well, all of a sudden, the enemy army has something that our heroes didn't expect. They've laid traps on the battlefield. They have monsters that we weren't expecting or magic that we weren't expecting. They have siege engines and we don't. Give the enemy something that our hero wasn't expecting that will take our hero to that lowest point where they can rise up again and win the battle. Now remember, this can be done on a much smaller scale than two armies and done in a much quicker fight. It could be as simple as there's a quick knife tussle and our hero gets cut on the cheek. He doesn't have to be laid completely low, we just need to know that he could lose. That gives us a chance to go, ooh, this fight could go badly, and that gets the reader invested. Another pet peeve of mine is when characters get into fights and get injured, but then as soon as the fight is over, they have some magic, or better yet, it's completely ignored that they're injured. If you're going to hurt your character in a fight, and you should, the wounds need to stay and they need to matter. If you've got a hero character who, say, got a healer next to him, it could be an easy fix if it's a small fight, but if it's a big fight, your hero should have to deal with his injuries. I absolutely cannot stand it when I'm reading a book and a hero gets in a fight, a big fight somewhere in the middle, and he gets injured, and then it doesn't matter. People forget that that even happened. Nobody even asked him if he's okay, and he was just slashed in some important organ or something like that. Or someone's like, oh, are you hurt? Let me slap a bandage on that, and then we will never mention it again how painful or frustrating that injury is. Injure your characters and make it matter. So that's it for my writing vlog today. I like to share a little bit about myself and my own writing process at the end of each writing vlog. Some of you know that at the time of filming this, I have recently started writing my next book, which is a fairy tale retelling of Puss in Boots. It's going pretty well. I'm trying not to stress about it, even though I'm already stressed a little bit about Diary of a Demon and whether I can make it a success or not. But I'm gonna have fun with Boots, and I've got lots of plans for it to challenge myself, to grow as a writer, and to make an engaging story. However, I will share a little insecurity of mine. I think I might be bad at beginnings. It is a worry that I have. I never quite know how a story should begin. What's the best way for this particular story to begin? I usually try to begin with some engaging action or really kick the story off as quickly as I can, especially as I grow as a writer. I have learned that my readers at least have very low tolerance for me to slowly ease them into the story. They want to get going. So I try to do that, but of course sometimes I worry that that's not the right choice for this book or the other book, and so I am concerned that I'm not very good at beginnings. It's just a concern that I have. I don't expect any of you guys to solve it. I just felt like I would share an insecurity of mine with you guys out there who might be writing books, so that you know you're not alone in your insecurities. If you have any questions about what I said or any other writing topic that you would love to hear me talk about, please leave a comment below and let me know. I'm already starting to run out of writing topics that I wanted to talk about, so if there's something that you want to hear about from me, yes, definitely let me know. I will try my best to talk about it. And if you like and value what you see here on my channel, please share it with your friends. And I will see you again next time when I do a video about something. I'm sure it will be about something. Bye!